Okay, I want to start with a little exercise. So if you guys are comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes and think about your major. Think about all the things that you like about it. Got it? Okay. Now I want you to think about things you don't like about it. Maybe it's just like a little thing you dislike or like a hate. Got that? Okay, go ahead and open your eyes. So I'm a biology major, and for me that topic is plants. So I'm not here to tell you guys why I don't like plants. Instead, I'm actually going to tell you guys about something that made me like plants more, an herbarium. So this quarter, I've been helping out in the herbarium here on campus, and I want to talk to you guys a little bit about why I think they're cool and why plants actually a little bit not that bad. So today I'll tell you guys about herbarium, the herbariums, how we make specimens, their importance, and the one that we have here on campus. So as you can see, an herbarium is filled with specimens, kind of like this one. So this is a practice one, so I didn't steal it from there, but this is kind of what one looks like. And so then each of these specimens are put into folders based on their names. And then those folders are put into bigger folders. And the huge folders are then put into cabinets. An herbarium is basically a room filled with these cabinets full of specimens. And so how is it that we make a specimen? Well, first, it starts out with somebody out in the field. So a researcher goes out and collects a plant, and they basically flatten it and put it into these huge kind of bag-like things. Next, they're dehydrated, so it's easier to put them onto a piece of paper. And then they're mounted or glued onto a piece of paper like this. And then there's also kind of like little strips. It's hard to see on the picture, and it's kind of hard to see here, but there's little strips that help attach them when the plants are a little bigger or woodier. And so some things to note on here are, so a fragment packet, it's a little kind of envelope made of paper, and that's where you put leaves, seeds, fruits, flowers that have kind of fallen off of the plant. Another thing is the label. So a label tells you about the plant, what it is, where it's from, who collected it. And then lastly, there's a barcode. So barcode kind of goes with the last part of making a specimen, which is digitizing it. So we basically take pictures of the specimens and put them online so people across the world don't have to travel all the way here, and we don't have to send our specimens across the globe just so they can see it. Right? And so this is our herbarium. It's called Robert F. Hoover Herbarium, and it's in the Fisher Science Building. It's on the 300 floor, or it's like the second floor. It's really weirdly labeled. And you guys actually might know the director. Her name is Jen Yost. She's also a biology professor here. So any of you guys taking Bio 160, she's also the director of the Robert F. Hoover Herbarium. And according to intermountainbiota.org, in an article titled Robert F. Hoover Herbarium, Cal Poly State University, OBI, there are over 50,000 specimens here on campus in that one room, which is amazing. It's a lot. Just like there's cabinets basically lining the walls, and then also rows. And also, I don't know if any of you guys know what that specimen is on the left, but if you thought it was cannabis, you're right. Mm-hmm. We actually have a cannabis collection on campus, even though it's technically not supposed to be there. But they are laminated, so students can't get in and try and steal it and smoke it or something. Okay, and lastly, I want to talk about why they are so important. In a 2017 article titled Going Deeper into the Automated Identification of Herbarium Specimens, Carranza Roja and his team figured that there are about 35,000 species that are unidentified. So these are new species, which are just sitting in herbariums waiting to be identified. So these could be the next medical breakthrough, or just maybe the next genes for a bigger tomato, or anything like that. Then also we can use these herbarium specimens and extract their DNA. So this was first founded in 1985 by Rogers and Bennett, who wrote an article in the Plant Molecular Journal. And they figured that you can extract DNA, and so these can actually be used if you think about it, for crime scenes, maybe there's a cold case and there's some random plant on a boot that's like 50 years old. You can actually take that plant, sequence that DNA, maybe take an herbarium plant, sequence that DNA, and see if it's a match. And because the herbarium specimens have locations, you can pinpoint locations. And it's really cool. And recently, in 2018, Sen and his collaborators also wrote an article in the Plant Methods journal about more specific sequencing. So they figured that you can have specimens which are 80 years old and also have 500 picograms of the specimen, which is, it's 0. and then like 10 zeros, 5 grams, which is a tiny amount, and they could accurately sequence the DNA, which is really amazing. And lastly, over the recent years, there have been new methods, and this was assessed in the 2017 article by Newlart and his peers in the Botanical Review journal. And they figured that now, with the recent innovations, we've been able to get better herbarium specimens and more specific, which is going to help us out in the future when we want to look back at these. So now you know what an herbarium is and kind of why I think plants are a little cooler. Herbariums really aren't just a collection of plants. They're the center of plant science breakthroughs and anything surrounding that. So like for me, I want to go to medicine, and a lot of plants help with medicine. And I think it's just really cool to think about how things are so interconnected. So I want you guys to think about that thing that you didn't really like, and maybe it's actually not that bad. Thank you.